revolves around you are having 15 first class. What do you think? 15 first class in law, is that too much to ask?
If you have seen how UI law students are studying or how much they have hacked the examination in this country, these are people that you will see them, they will stay overnight, do overnight reading. So when you people like that have first class, you will be shocked.
There's a GLE phenomenon that I noticed, that every guy wants to write a GLE, and because of that they don't want to stay in class.
The untrained guy will look at UI and say that the reverse is the case, but that's not true. I think it more explains why guys are less academically inclined compared to ladies in federal schools. But if you are talking population, females are not yet there. Okay, I think it's close now.
Last 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I went to register my JAMB, and I noticed the population there was majorly girls. They were much, and the guys, what was kind of similar amongst all those guys was that all of them, they look as if they are looking towards polytechnic. Why the girls are much big on going to the university? What was it with those set of boys big on polytechnic, and those girls are kind of big on the university?
One of the things that I've noticed in recent time is that the current speed of civil servants in recent years, they have been moving from the set of people that we call average set of people to poor kind of class.
Yeah, I will agree with you. Now, you have been to private university, you have been to public university. Which one do you think is better? I got my first admission to the university in 2014, and throughout my stay in the University of Ilorin, there was no time, no academic session, no period in particular that I can say University of Ilorin postponed exam. In particular, not in general. Because even in general, I'm not sure. It's not that I can think of one, but I'm just not sure. Maybe, there's one time where University of Ilorin say exam starts Monday, 25th of January 2020, and they will now move the exam later. I don't know whether that happened anytime. Because we can bank on University of Ilorin academic calendar during that time. But now, the one that baffles me the most, even that one I will give it out to anybody, any institution, I will allow it. The one that baffles me the most is the idea that there will be an exam, an ongoing exam, and then they will say, Math 102 has moved from Monday till Friday, or from Friday till Monday. I've seen that in private universities, and I've seen that in public university. Like, in fact, I know of one that's going to happen on Monday. It's an exam that's supposed to happen on Friday. They shifted it to Monday. In one, and the girl was telling me about it because she's a OAU student, sociology. And I'm wondering, when did that start? When did that become a university experience? When did that start? When did we get here? Because I believe the ability of a university to say, we are going to start exam during this time, and students knowing that will be the case, is the foundation for saying that if you miss the exam, you have carryover. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I believe there's that mutual contract there, there's that social contract there, there's that unwritten contract there, where school will say the exam will happen at this time, and it's going to happen at that time. That's why if student misses the exam, they know by default that there's nothing, no hope. But now, even when school is moving things now, students too should have the right to miss the exam and whatever. I don't know. Does this speak to the fact that the academic system is getting worse? Or what do you think? What do you think about this? Is it that there's a cannibalization, what do they call that thing? Is it degradation or degeneration that is happening? It's no longer the way it used to be.
Well, when we did HIS 101, there's one thing they taught us, academic integrity. And part of a major cost of academic integrity is that a certain thing is expected from both the student and the school or the lecturer, vice versa.
All stakeholders.
All stakeholders, and that's the keyword. Trust, accountability, respect. Help me with the rest. So, I think that's exactly what you're attacking. That the standard is that when they say this is the date, every student will want to leave whatever they are doing to ensure they don't miss it. But now there are sins without consequence. So apparently it shows something is wrong. So rather than just saying maybe blaming it entirely on the academic system, I might say maybe there's something wrong entirely about the society, and then it has crept into the academic system. So
I think B. Tracy is a victim of this, in the sense that he was sick at one time and he missed. Is that an exam or a test or something?
He missed an exam.
So now thinking about it, that school can just wake up and say, "Oh, we will not be able to do an exam on Friday anymore. An exam that's supposed to happen on Friday, and they move it to Monday." Do you think if such thing is happening, they are justified to tell you that if you are sick, you are to fail, you have to retake the paper?
I think that would be that's actually a betrayal of trust.
Mm-hmm.
But what I noticed though is that when it comes to exam, I think it's more of faculty based. The way because faculty releases timetable. And I noticed that in Faculty of Law, for instance, the only one time when we ever had a situation since I've been in UI Faculty of Law where we moved the date of the exam was when the unexpected death of President Muhammadu Buhari, where the next day, where the exam date was declared a public holiday. So as a result, things had to change. That was the only time I ever had that kind of experience. So I don't have a practical experience of exam being shifted or being cancelled since I've been in UI. But I noticed that I cannot beat my chest and say that it does not happen. Because I know some faculties that are they won't even release their timetable. They won't necessarily release their timetable like 1 week before the exam. Like you will be so shocked that you are borrowing from them. You'll be like, maybe you guys are in this faculty. Have you not still gotten? They will say they've not got or they've not finalized. They are trying to like a few days to exam. So it happens. That's why I don't really know if maybe before it was not that way too, or maybe there were faculties where where people were doing nonsense stuff.
I would have said law has the exemption card or whatever, but I was in political science during the time I was talking about. I was studying political science, so I knew when they said the exam is this time, everybody will show up at that time. And that's everybody will understand that contract. That is because if I don't show up that time, no matter what's happening in the world, that's why we fail. That simple?
They won't even delay. That's the worst part. Like there won't be an hour or something delay.
Yeah, you come in at the right time and you get out at the right time. It's so clear. It's super clear. If you miss it, in fact, that's why you can count that. Oh, I've lost 30 minutes in my time already. If you are coming late, so there's no extra time for you because you came late. There's nothing. If you like, come late. You happy. So I don't know, John. What do you think? What is happening?
Yeah, unlike classes that you can say, okay, you miss class.
You are not in classes. You are not in classes. How can you speak to this? What was your particular experience? Because at least the three of us that have spoken so far, we are in Nigerian schools. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, I've been in the Nigerian school, tertiary institution. So
I'm talking about you. You don't have the context to compare, do you?
To compare?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have to compare. I'm not even comparing now.
But you don't have anyone like younger siblings or anybody that's currently having similar experience?
I have my younger sibling. She even graduated this year.
Okay.
So, but she never complained to me that they have exam that was skipped. And all throughout my stay in Unilorin, there might be class that was skipped or test postponed to next week, but exam was always
there's that written, non-written
agreement
where we all know it's static, it's clear, it is like this.
It's exam day.
Dancing with you too, you don't have context, or you have any particular experience you can share in this?
Actually, unlike the three of you, I did not have the context of just opposing between being in one school and another.
What do you have?
But I remember while I was in University of Ilorin, the academic calendar is very, very clear. You know when we're having exams. Not even a minute late. Because once it's a minute late, you're already late already.
You are late.
And you have the issue of answering to the lecturer that, okay, please, I want to enter your exam. And I say, why are you coming by this time? It's too late. Like that. Right?
And I don't think they will give you extra time, safe.
No.
Unless they generally give extra time. There's that they used to do it for us in good time. They'll be like, you see guys who want to write more. Give you extra time to write more. It's your problem. That kind of freestyle 5 minutes for everybody to wrap up their
so issue of school postponing exam is kind of alien to my ear. Right? In fact, this is the first or second time hearing it that the they fix a date for exam. They now postpone that okay to have next week or next 2 weeks. This is the first or second time I hear about it. But also in defense of those schools or those faculties, maybe disruption happen. Maybe there's an outbreak, HIV outbreak, like they have it in some institutions. I didn't name this. I didn't name this school.
Okay.
In some institutions, right? Or maybe something happened. Maybe somebody, maybe they lost somebody and they decided to shift the date.
Okay, like Buhari, the way Buhari did.
Exactly. But aside that,
Why are you throwing the jab about? But be careful. Don't do this on my podcast. Later on, I think the audience that are watching this deserve to know, where have you guys been since all this while? You know, where have you been? Josh, where have you been? National level, I've been sitting there and I've been expecting you. I've been hoping that you guys talk. Where have you guys been? What have you guys been up to?
I've been to London.
see
London to see the Queen. Well, I've been. The last time we were here, we were celebrating the fact that I've been admitted to be a law student. So I've been really writing exams.
Yeah.
A old man like me, you can imagine.
Oh, so you are being a law student. You are busy being a law student.
Right.
That's interesting. Beatrice, is that the case for you? Because you have always been a law student.
I've
Why
always been a law student. So I think the major reason is that a lot of things have changed. You can see even our background is different from our background the last time. So a lot of water has passed under the bridge.
Oh, it's a lot of water that is passing under the bridge. That's nice. Dan Smith, you are not being a law student. So what's happening? Why have you guys abandoned National Dialogue? And are you guys back for real, or you are just here to do one episode? Or you are back because election is in 2027? That's me. Why have you been? You have been fasting.
I think we've been on sabbatical for a while, and we are back with a bang this time around.
Okay.
And fortunately enough, it's election season, so
you feel like
circumstantial.
Constantly enough. And the funny thing, there are some people that want to support P2B are here. And they yet to debate about why the P2B should be the one going.
Anyways, I wish them well. I wish them all the best of luck.
Okay, now I heard about something. BB Mass 60 Max. I think, does that have anything to do with these, lapses in the academic sector? And for instance, you and I that have been in the 4 walls of the school, that were back into the 4 walls of the school, what do you notice that have changed?
So, I was going to add some things to my earlier thing. That you see all this changing of data and code is really not alien to our culture. There are always logistic issues. Because we've not been to schools that we're reading with all these students calling strike. Because even Beatrice that was saying that they've not postponed their exam or something like that. There was a time that they got 2 weeks, a whole 2 weeks break. Because the student union were saying, no, we no go agree. And then the school had to send everybody packing. So I think the school that you were giving an example of was what's it called? OAU. They are used to all that. Is it not this Aluta?
But is that why?
I'm coming. Useless Aluta schools. Is a norm in their place. So if they are postponing it for even other flimsy reasons, it will be it's not a shock to me. Actually, but you mentioned private schools.
You have grudges against
because I wonder why he's saying useless Aluta schools.
Because President Tabi Ogoye is my friend, so I will not take that. I will not take that slander.
I have issue with.
I will not take that slander.
You is a useless school.
I will not take. You see, there's a personal vendetta here. I will not take that slander.
Generalize.
Go ahead.
So I'm just saying that it's not alien to schools. So it's not a new thing. It's not even. Not a new thing at all. So and then they always say maybe logistic issues and all of that. And the fact that maybe they have issues, some schools have inadequate CBC center. That we speak more of the central planning committee of the school is also strong and all of that. So those are just normal issues. So answering the question that maybe CC Mass and BB Mass has affected that in any way.
What is that? What is this?
So the BB Mass is more like a benchmark system that since the federal government controls the entire, not just the curriculum, but even how everything is taught.
Mm-hmm.
But now, how it was changed by the NUC is that, okay, 70% will still be determined by government, what you teach and what happens. But 30%, the school has the freedom to freestyle.
Oh,
major-
is that why we are seeing something like KDUF law 101?
Yeah, it seems
That kind of thing.
seems so.
Because in other school, in other level, apart from legal method, I think you agree with me. You don't do any other law course.
Now though our current
It's
set, not my own set, they also having
They have that freedom to
they
add
have-
those.
they have legal method. They also have another course. They
That's
even
like
have a
law course.
psychology course that they are taking in faculty of law. All those kind
Eh.
You
of
know, all those innovative.
they call them, instead of PUL 101, they call them C law 101.
This one is
Those kind of-
KDU law
Uh-huh.
101. So we have law 101 and then we have KDU law 101.
So those changes, you know, those are 30% that are there. And another major stuff was that they said general studies is too much. You will do GNS, you do this one. Like they should reduce it. So it's part of the changes that.
I think that one really annoyed me because I remember that in 100 level I did 2 GES.
Okay.
In 100 level I did 3 GES. That's true.
First and second semester.
Yeah,
Okay.
all together I did 3.
Like we
Then-
did even in our first semester we did ENT, we did.
Then in 200
we
level,
do this one.
I did 4, 2 across semesters. In 300 level, I will do 1 and 1 ENT like that, and 1 ETR like that. But the problem is that the new set, they won't even do that much. Right. They're only doing like 1, like 2, you know, that kind of, which is like, why did I not waste my own time?
Sorry for the winner. Looking for the winner. Technology for the loser. It has happened. It has happened.
So those are the actual major changes that we are witnessing.
What other
in this.
change has been tracing? Well, you have never been there. This
Yeah.
is the time you have been there, so
Oh,
you might not have. You both of you are not there. What I can add to that, because I've been here before and I'm here now. I think generally, because I'm in private university, there are some sort of things that I don't know, maybe it's particularly private university kind of experience compared to public university, that I see that kind of different. One of such is that the rate of female versus male is alarming. It's crazy. In fact, if a guy is in College University and you don't have up to 4 girlfriends, you're supposed to be flogged, stoned, and crucified, because you are doing a bad service to the population. In fact, this is the epitome of male along with center. Like, I'm serious. There are so many girls. If you are not getting as much as two, in fact, if a girl is jealous that her boyfriend has more than 1 girlfriend, they're supposed to kidnap that girl and go and throw her in Supermax somewhere in Kirikiri or Alagban. Are you serious? You cannot be jealous of that, because it's just the fact of numbers. It's just a fact of reality that there are so many girls. So if your boyfriend is dating only you, who will date the other girls? The ratio is crazy. Like we have 1 male hostel until until towards the semester is ending that they have more. And even the new male hostel, I don't think this can support up to 100 guys. I don't know. But only 1 male hostel, and then we have 4 female hostels or whatever, and it's still not enough. They moved them to staff quarters at one point. They still moved them. They were everywhere. Yet the facility, this hostel facility is still not enough for them. They are the one that will still even be lacking water. They will still come to boys over there to fetch water to know how much boys are not using. So it's either the boys are not bathing or the boys have enough water. The boys are just lower. I don't know what is causing that. And one of the armchair theorizing that I can do is to say that it is the GLE phenomenon. Is the fact that every guy in the world wants to buy GLE in that 24. That's what is causing the complete dropout from the academic system, because that will not get you GLE. Because by saying GLE phenomenon, I'm saying this is the joke that people say in class, by saying that when the lecturer is teaching something that they say, is this what was GLE? Is this thing that is this lecture that so there's a GLE phenomenon that I noticed, that every guy wants to write a GLE, and because of that they don't want to stay in class.
I actually have the untrained eye.
Mm-hmm.
We look at UI and say that the reverse is the case.
Okay.
But that's not true. That's why I said an untrained eye.
Okay.
And also about the GLE phenomenon, I think it more explains why guys are less academically inclined compared to ladies in federal schools, not
Okay.
like. But if we are still talking population, females are not yet there. Okay, I think it's close now. But before it used to be ridiculously male versus because a lot of female students, a lot of male children are not being sponsored in universities.
Okay.
So that was the case then. But now we know that more people are sponsoring female children, their female children
go to school.
to go to school.
Because the thing is that another thing we need to factor is that in the marriage market, in the relationship market, people are setting the benchmarks like, oh, she's a graduate.
Exactly, she's a
if she's not a
university-
university graduate,
it's
most
a-
guys don't want to even go.
I won't marry someone that is not a university.
Yeah, people
graduate.
are marrying degrees now. They want to marry medical doctors. They want to marry lawyers. They want to marry, there's a marrying degree part.
So-
that is a reality now.
So I noticed that is the case. So, but the thing is that, okay, let me just give context, hostel-based context, for instance. There are, I think, 6 male hostels
Okay.
versus 3 male hostels in UI. But the 3...
6 male hostel.
Versus-
So initially the entire system was created to be male dominant.
Exactly, it was male.
Okay.
Even the AWO that was converted to a female hostel used to be a co-ed. Like male, female,
Female
male and
hostel.
female.
Mhm.
So it was not... I have a lecturer that was an AWOite when he was in school. So it's that there were not so many females then, but now it's increasing to the point where the hostels were being cleared out for females and those kind of to become a female only and those kind of stuff. Now, but the issue is that I noticed that what balanced it out, because when you look at faculties like arts, social sciences, even law, majority is female. It's so bad that in LLB 27, the class before my class, they have 90 plus females out of like 150
students.
out of 160. Let me just say 160. Like students, they have 90 plus. In my class, we have 80 plus females
Out of
the 157
Students.
students. So that's the
so
reality.
the ladies are majority now. Yes.
Like for a
They may
long,
have
for a long
foreheads
while
like
now.
mine.
For law.
For a long while now, for law in faculty of law. But where things balance out is that when you move to faculty of engineering, for instance, you can see only 10 females.
Oh, maybe that's another reason we should consider, because my school don't have those engineering courses here, those high engineering courses here. Most of the courses we put out are like nursing, are like
Oh,
All those.
all those
MLS.
MLA, MBS, all those in radiology
okay.
courses that
A lot of ladies are still not going for
So all
very
those
technical courses.
STEM.
Yeah, those
STEM
STEM
courses.
courses. A lot
Uh-huh.
of mathematics. I know
So
they
we are
have
not
only
yet-
a few.
Colleges University is not yet
Yeah.
there for.
So that's why there are so
those
many. But because in UI there's still that balance. Although it's clear that more females are
trooping in,
school.
because it's obvious from the
But
law starts.
the problem is still the fact that I don't know if it's a problem though. But the reality is still the fact that
I wouldn't say it's a problem, but at the same time, I think it's a problem because men are still going to lead the home, no matter what we want to talk about. And the men are, as much as they are valuable as women in the society, we need them educated too.
maybe the world will change too. That's what I'm thinking.
But we
To
need,
cater for the
either
new
way,
reality.
we need men educated too.
Definitely, that's a must.
If not part of the society that we don't need education, we advocate for women to be educated, of course, so that when their husband is saying stuff,
But the solution for women getting educated is not men no longer
not
being
getting-
educated.
that's the
We
point.
are going back to square one, even worse.
Even worse. Yeah.
So
That's what I think, essentially. You guys are not in the system. Oh, so I don't know whether you have a take on the subject, what has really changed. What do you think? But you have siblings now, you have friends, you have whatever. What can you see from outside?
Yeah, the thing is, I've not.
You are a JAMB applicant, at least.
opportunity.
You should know from all the JAMB that you are seeing around. How many fellow JAMB are female compared to when you are sitting in those JAMB exam, or how many girls are sitting beside you? Or
You should know that I'm an outlier Jambite. So it's not like I have Jambite that I'm talking with that now because most of them are not my mates. So I don't even know anybody that is writing Jam this year.
See, I last 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I went to register my JAMB at High Flyer Day, and I noticed the population there was majorly female child. The girls, they were much, and the guys, what was kind of similar amongst all those guys was that all of them, they look as if they are looking towards polytechnic.
okay.
Why the girls are much big on going to the university and You know, those guys always say, wait, I'm at war, Poli Badon. I'm at shaking. So I was kind of wondering, what was it with those set of boys big on Polytechnic and those girls are kind of big on the university? So I don't know what the population is at the Polytechnic if the guys are much
in
there.
those places. Well, one of the things I can say is that because I've had my fair share of Polytechnic experience and co, is that generally there's this illusion in the market where they say hands-on skills are learned in Polytechnic. So guys are always oriented towards hands-on skills. That is a fact of it has been studied. There's that clear interest in things. Boys are interested in things. That part is there. And then secondly is the fact that most of the people in these settings, most of the people you are looking at don't often see themselves qualify for university admission. So generally, they pursue Polytechnic admission by default. Unless you mentor them, unless you give them, unless you show them that it's not any other, it's not more expensive in any way, that's when they will consider going there. And then more importantly too, if you end up going there, you will see female. You will see it's often the majority of the population, they are the ones that are often there to get mass comm, to get public admin, to get accounting. You know, those they are the majority. It's just that some guys too, you know, they tend to say, "Oh, I'll manage poly," and the fact that it's breaks out. You know, poly is like you can do 1-2 years, and then so oftentimes it's good for students that are hustling that they don't have all these funding to go and do 4-year full-time course like that. You know, I think those are the kind of things I consider in that whatever.
I think you've answered what I wanted to. I wanted to say if you ask those guys closely, you hear that theirs is even worse. They are going to NC. You now hear their NC is affiliated to
one university or UI or
something like
that. That's now you have been to private university, you have been to public university. Which one do you think is better if you are comparing? And me, I've been around. So if you ask for my opinion, I have crazy opinion. But what do you guys think?
What do I think? Private or public?
Public university.
As a busy student that I am, private is the best bet. Yeah, that's why I would advise anybody. If you are busy, you are doing other works, you know, what's most flexible for you, that you get most value for your school fee, that you don't risk your paper getting missed, that you don't miss meeting asshole lecturers. Private is the best bet for you. But you know, if you are the first timer, you just want to enter university, just go to public university. You meet more people, you know, you'll be able to integrate into a well larger society, you know, and then
that well larger society is a very primary concern of mine, which I term as post-graduation delusionment. You know, there's what we call post-independent delusion. Post-graduation delusion, which is after graduation is when you start realizing that you are not that special, and which is something you're supposed to have realized when you're in university. If you have dealt with enough with
public, exactly. I agree with that.
In my class now, there are girls like that that would think they are the tallest in the world. If she's not careful, she might be thinking she's that tall.
But you need learning go. You might be.
I'm serious. You think
you won't be the shortest in the class, right? But then you won't be in the top 10.
If you think you are short, you see the shorter guy. If you think you are tall, you will see taller guys. If you think you are rich, you will see richer guy. If you think you are smart, you see smarter guys.
Yeah.
If you think you are articulate, you see articulate.
If you think you are old, you see older
people.
So there's a 71-year-old man that matriculated with LB30 your set. Like in our year, he matriculated the other day. I was like, wow. 71-year-old.
71 and still
Although he does not look 71, to be honest. He looks rather young for his age, but the man is 71.
71 and bouncing.
And bouncing, which bouncing?
Like, we were even having a discussion about how he wears blue suit to the faculty. That who will go and challenge this man that is going to hear
to the faculty? Who will tell him? Baba that is older than almost everybody. There's that. Like, if you think you have beard, you see someone that have beard more than it's like that. It's that amazing. You have that. Instead of now graduating before you have that delusion, before you come to that realization, it's not all that it's carved out to be. You have earned that while you are in school. You have earned that credit while you are in school.
You think you are brilliant. You see people that are more brilliant than you. And if you think you are good, like you have hacked the educational system, you see people that have hacked it.
That's super hacker. You know, if you think you are at disadvantage, you will see the disadvantage.
More disadvantage.
No, I'm not saying the disadvantage.
Exactly.
You will split him. You will meet her. They will live with you. You will be wondering, how do you survive?
In abundance.
You will be wondering, how is this guy surviving? You mean you are from this place? You mean you have been staying inside school for the last 3 months? You mean you have been squatting? You mean you have not eaten since 3 days? You be wondering,
When I was in uni learning,
Uh-huh.
I thought me and Quebec Kabiru was the most disadvantaged set of students because we were staying inside the school. Then I now saw one guy. His name is Evergreen. I was like, well, the guy was now telling me that he has been doing punk, like you know, like carrying bricklayer, carrying block, doing all those stuff. That's what he's using to even survive. Shaping me, I'm still waiting for them to send me some small money from home. 100 level. But the guy from his own 100 level, don't they do punk?
What are you talking about? You think that is
There's level to this shit.
But in KD, I feel like most of these kids don't know anything. You are complaining about the fact that you are eating Elafis. You have 3,000 to eat Elafis special every night. You are not serious. You don't know what you are talking about.
The worst I've seen in KD is somebody that it was a day before exam that he was able to pay school fees.
School fees. And he'll be thinking, I'm so disadvantaged. Yeah? You are able to pay that kind of school fees. When we are paying 28,000 or 23,000 in Lori, many people will not be able to pay.
I don't see how pay.
I remember 100 level. 100 level. I knew people that they gave the deadline. They were not able to pay their school fees. Deadline passed. They still were not able to pay their school fees. Then we got to I think GES exam week, and school was forcing them to go and sign up for NEF1. Like it was that because
you know you should do extension and extension. And then after they do free extension, they will do paid extension. Like they will increase it with the fee. And with the they will people will know. And you see me wondering, who has not paid 23,000? I mean, what's happening? What? So there's that fact that I see in Bible that you might not be able to realize. But when it comes to say academics, what do you think? You guys are there. You know, what do you think in terms of academic?
I think the population favors public school students to have more talented people.
I don't even think it's just the population.
Oh, okay.
I think from the selection process, majority of the good students usually they don't go to majority of private universities. There are certain specific private universities where I know that somebody will have 300 plus in their entire, that's where I'm going. For instance, like Babcock, and especially somebody that has interest in technology. For somebody that wants to study law. For some other courses, Covenant, those especially the hands-on courses, you will want to go to Covenant University because of the resources they have. So I accept those major universities.
Are you saying that because of the fact that there's really no more strike? Because that's not like the major.
No, I'm still saying that even when there was strike, a lot of students will rather risk it than like many people will still go to Unilorin when there was Unilorin because they would rather go to a public university.
Many top students were applying for when Unilorin was hot cake.
It was like that was Unilorin had all the top students.
Yes,
that's the funniest. Unilorin had all the top students.
We can even see it now in the marketplace. People like this guy Choba Lukman of Dukia Investment. We can see this guy that this foundational looking lawyer. What's the name of that guy from our side? You can see that those set of Unilorin alumni, including ourselves. There's this way we are, making waves in the media.
I noticed that UI has that advantage recently. UI has that advantage of late. Okay, when it comes to law, UI has that advantage for a long time, maybe for a long time. But of late, UI has been having a lot of that advantage because people have that illusion that it's brilliant people that are in UI.
So the top of so they take from the top 5. I think that this guy used to make the analysis for Harvard and whatever in the first place. That the reason why Harvard and all these institutional, what do they call them?
Those Ivy League
institutions. The reason why they don't often, despite the fact that they have high-paying treasure, the reason why they still have high intelligence students is that it's the very top of the pie that they end up
in the very first place.
They pick the best of the best of the meat. Students that have the most funding, that have the most whatever.
Most private schools don't even run post-UM. There's no 2 factors to start with. There are many bright students that we win with JAMB, but
when they
get not do well with post-UM. But private university is not able to even do those 2 levels. Why public will do those 2? They now select
from the top of the pie.
I think that makes sense. That's true.
So generally speaking, there are more smarter students in
To be
public
frank.
university. Is that you
In
think,
abundance.
you know?
Yeah.
But you believe that you should go to private university if you are busy.
If you are busy, go to
If you
private
have
university.
works to do.
And
then
then
if,
you-
if
No,
you
I think
can't
for somebody
join
that
out
is
on
busy
YouTube,
and has been to school before, like DE
has
people,
been to
I
school
think
before.
a lot of the things that you will
Not
get
necessary.
from university for the first time, you won't need them.
you don't
again.
need this.
You
now.
No,
don't-
you
have
don't need
those
it.
posts.
You won't need them 2 times.
Eh,
Like the
but-
things you picked from university, you won't need it 2 times.
Exactly. You already know that you are just 1 out of 8 billion people.
Uh-huh.
Already you.
Mhm.
You
know
come to that realization now.
You
Sure.
learn a lot of
You've
things.
seen
enough
that
from-
lecturers can be an asshole, you know,
Mhm.
and then lecturers can be brilliant, lecturers can be this. can be-
Lecturers will have told you, like for instance, the way the man told me, he said like, do you know how many do I know how many carryovers he had? A lecturer can be that. So you already know all those things. There's no reason to go and experience it the second time.
Exactly. Now, there's this thing I noticed about there's a news around UI having 58 first class, right? And I felt like their opinions on the subject, like, oh, it's the degradation of the system. It's that. What do you think? 58 first class in law, is that too much to ask?
You are listening. Should I go first?
You should go first.
Okay. So the funny thing is that news, I don't know why they over did it, because now our lecturers are threatening us.
Okay.
They are making it sound like they are intentionally trying to get people to lose
Grade.
CGPA and everything.
Mhm.
Like they are intentionally out to
Get you
like
now.
with the way they are speaking and the rules they are creating all of a sudden. Like now 75% attendance is mandatory.
Mhm.
It was never implemented. There is not mandatory, which means that if you did not attend for 75, you are not going to be able to sit for exam and you are going to fail that course. We have to rewrite it. Those kind of rules that were so those things are problematic. They are becoming, the school is becoming more problematic now as a result of that news
Okay.
and everything. If you have seen how UI law students are studying
Uh-huh.
or how much they have hacked the examination
Uh-huh.
in this country, you will be shocked. These are people that you will see them. They will stay overnight. They do overnight reading.
Mhm.
Okay, there's a popular one of the people in this set.
In this sense.
The guy finished an exam. The lady, it was a lady, yes. She finished an exam, just finished an exam,
Uh-huh.
exam, and immediately when people were spreading her, she was in the secretariat room. She was reading again for ahead of another exam. Those are the kind of people. So when people like that have first class, you will be shocked. This lady I'm talking about.
I know this set.
This lady I'm talking about.
Because, is it not over that your set?
Yes.
Ah.
This lady I'm talking about, she's not one of the people that won Bosan scholarship.
Okay.
Bosan scholarship is accredited by
Body of
senior advocates of Nigeria.
Yeah.
So the scholarship is held every year. Law students are recommended by their faculties. This includes all faculties of law in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
These are students from all faculty of law in Nigeria. And like, I think 5 people win every year or something, 5 or 6. But last year, their year, it was 5. And 3 out of them were from this set.
From
So,
this particular
I
set.
try
It
to
shows
tell
how
me that
much
if 3 out of
these
5.
people are mad. They are
So
thunder.
what does that make you think about these people in law school? And historically, UI law has been producing first class students. But what people don't talk about is that when you get to law school, they are still the ones that are still producing the most first class in law school. So it's like, oh, okay, if we are saying that UI is pushing them, UI is making this easy for them, what do we want to say
About
about
law
law
school?
school?
Law school is also pushing them.
And it's not pushing the rest of you.
Mm.
So what's your argument?
I would have wanted to play the devil's advocate
So, well,
to say I pay over 40%. She will for.
Okay.
But 3 out of 5, bro. That's
Oh,
what
that's
I'm
what
saying. Why are you talking fuck? Is
So
every
what
other
I'm
person on Twitter
talking about these are facts. I know this set and they're very dangerous set. Very dangerous set. You know, I was talking about before we started recording. I was talking about there's a spirit of the class. There's an energy that just flow with the class. You know, the same thing happened with 2014 set of political science, University of London. There's that energy that once everybody is hot, even the people that don't want to be hot before, they will be like hot. Because no Messi is not normal. The thing that's supposed to score A will no longer be enough to score A. So everybody will be like A student that are still scoring B. So it's A plus student that will be scoring A.
Exactly.
That's just the fact.
So let me give an example of how dangerous these people are. This is a lot of them. This is their kind of exam strategy. And tell me if many students are ready to replicate such, which is the fact that they are going into the exam of having memorized the answers they want to give. Meaning that they
They
are
know everything they
anticipating
want to
as many questions as you can bring, and they already know as many answers as they can give you. So what are we? How many of you are ready to go there?
So I think they deserve it. I think that said deserved it, and I think we should applaud that achievement, not see it as the education has fall behind or whatever unnecessary.
And one thing I like is the fact that in UI, if you actually have an A, they will give you an A. If you actually have first class, they will give you first class. That's the interesting
So
thing.
that's just it. So why all the news about the fact that what do you guys think? Why all these news about the fact that in 58 for I don't think it's much. I think if the entire class can even go out before stars, it's not bad.
Is that not meant to be our prayer?
The hypocrisy is what the hypocrisy is the funny part to me, because when they release jam score, you say they say 140 is the minimum threshold. Our educational system has collapsed. Yeah, they've dumped it down. Now with 100 you can enter polytechnic, with 140 you can enter polytechnic. People will be blaming our dear old brother,
Oluyede.
our dear prof. Oluyede. They will be blaming. Now, come home. They said 58, I mean 57 first class. You had the same people shouting. What exactly do you
What do you want?
What do you want?
We bring it back down. You say Suma. We bring it. We take it up. We say
The other funny angle is the fact that I remember Prof. Adibo Ali, former VC of UI, he made a post as a result of that stuff. And he was saying that, and people not realizing that somebody that is a UI law student, after the rigorous post UTME, after the JAM, then the post UTME, that are we not expecting that should be a first class student by default?
Right?
So we should be worried that what's going wrong,
If
that
they don't
more
get-
than 100 of those students are now not making first class.
Exactly.
That should be the concern, not
Exactly.
not the other way around. And but although there's this thing I notice, I love the fact that we have it for 58 for whatever. There's this pandemic of almost all of them appear in one newspaper or the other. Especially Natch NG. Everybody. What is happening with that pandemic? You will check your Natch feed, all of you will be seeing is that even somebody that no get first class, UI graduate that Shekinika is grateful to God. How is that a news?
You shared one even today now. It was saying
For
that
admission,
for admission, like
a lawyer daughter that has been applying for university for 5 years finally get admission. How is that a celebration? How should we be celebrating? Somebody has been applying for university for 5 times and finally get it. You are now celebrating.
Now celebrating news.
How is that a news? Is it today that people are applying for 7 years and not get it? What is happening?
So
What is happening? What's that?
I think it's.
You are a marketing guy. What do you think is your happening?
Shout out to Larry Blue Media.
Okay.
Those are the guys and people like them. They are the one in charge of this pandemic
Okay.
because they advertise this strengthen your talent-based visa. So people want to put their names out there as much as possible. So by the time they are applying, many when they finish the school, their next step is to Jakwa. So they want to ensure that they strengthen their talent visa. So by the time they are applying for visa, they will check who they are. It will be easy for them to find them online.
Oh,
and see
so all
their
those
trade.
news, all those
So
things to create buzz
that's
around it.
one of it is to.
But in
create
which one is
buzz.
admission? Admission.
Ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ti pẹ́ nìyẹn that you have started for so long. So by the time it's done, it won't be strange again. The name is already and it's very cheap now.
Okay.
That's the good part. 40 bay. You will appear on more than one news outlet.
Le-
I
So
think
it's
that's
very,
even
very-
punch. Sef.
It's very
punch that is
easy.
that
All
expensive.
those, there are some that are cheaper.
So
than
applicants, are you guys tell us about your plan? Are you guys too going to announce your admission?
So that's one.
Okay.
So now the second thing is that there are some people that are teaching them that we want to get employment. One of these things that you do is that run a PR. It's very cheap. When you run a PR about yourself for employers, so when they look you up, when HRs look you up, it's easier for them to find you and know, okay, this guy has some certain kind of presence online, and it's verifiable. It's not new to, okay, this guy really got first class. Even news platform carried it. You know, that's the
Allah,
so.
man.
But you know, Nigerians, when we need hear of a format, we tend to abuse it.
We are
The
That's why
abuse
it's
is
becoming a
crazy.
pandemic.
It's a pandemic now.
We tend to abuse it.
Everybody is
It's
see,
just
ladies
an
and gentlemen,
update.
news legit doesn't you come and carry news. Me too. A 30-year-old law student become I got admission to study law. Come and carry news because I don't understand. Me day where I don't hold where I get admission, you don't put me for news. One small girl when they apply for position 5 times. Is it today that people are applying for position 5 times? You are putting it in news. Kilo jele. Board admission and whatever. And then there's the pandemic of professorship too. I think there's one where they were calling out one
Nile university professor.
That. What is happening in that quarter too, you know?
Yeah, I think is people go to private universities. So if public universities are not giving them professorship, they are wasting their time or they are maybe bureaucratic, whatever.
Oh,
They go to private university
to
get
go and get
professorship.
professorship there too.
And at least I'm a professor now. What do you want to say?
But
professor?
do you know that there's a professorship as a job, there's professorship objective like when you are professor everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, you can be a professor somewhere and not be a professor everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yes.
In some
You don't know.
universities? I did not know. I thought
It's not
it
about
was-
even some university. You
Oh.
can be a prof somewhere and not. You can be a prof as a job. You can be a prof as a person. As in that, yeah. That's why many people you see that most time they call them doctor because they are professor at one school, but they are not professor everywhere like that.
Right. That's
They are like
interesting.
associate professors. They are like whatever. Their
Mm.
professor is not yet professoring. So, but there's the pandemic of
Yeah,
everybody.
people are
trying
going to
get their
private
professor.
universities to
They
go
even challenge that somebody have not done their academic work. This particular professor
in Nile.
yeah, they say he has not done his academic work. The problem of you becoming a professor, that's why I'm saying you should, it's a very tricky business. If you become a professor at say Nile University, you are almost certainly have denied yourself job opportunity at Unilori, at UI. Do you know?
Really?
Yes, now
Right.
that's what it's almost mean. Let me give you why. UI will not carry you.
Oh, we know. Oh, I get.
You get that?
I
We will not employ you.
But the funny thing is that these people already have employment with UI. Let me give you an example. Somebody that already has employment with UI, gets his professorship at Nile University, University, and then will the person stop being a professor in UI?
The person is not a professor in UI.
He's still despite working.
That's what I'm telling you. There's objective. You are not become you are not a professor in UI. But let's boss a job title and a what's it called?
So people just call you prof.
A prof.
Okay.
You are a professor that way. You are a professor at
Okay.
Nile University, but you are not a professor yet.
Oh.
You know, just same way doctor. Whatever. You are not. You are not objectively a professor yet. And some of time the institution there will not employ you, especially those ones that have not got to like say federal job. Your chances of getting getting job in all those places become limited. No school in their right sense will want to employ you that they know that you go and get your professor through Miss and Mrs. You understand? Like that, who will give you on that budget? Unless you have long legs, who will place you on that kind of budget? You get the problem.
And one thing I noticed in academic world is that there are some things you have to fulfill, whether you like it or not. So maybe.
Okay, so wait. They said the process of being a professor, academic qualification, PhD, non-negotiable.
Jebu.
Now, research and publication, this is the most heavily weighed factor, often making up about 60 to 7% of the promotion criteria. Kanye must have a robust portfolio of original research.
Research work.
Highly
At least publish 2 books.
reputable, peer-reviewed, local and international journals. The mantra "publish or perish" is very rare. Teaching and supervision. The candidate must have a proven track record of teaching excellence, and crucially must have
There's something like 10 years or 5 years teaching.
a certain number of postgraduate students, particularly PhD candidates, to completion.
And
Administrative and committee service. The candidate must show leadership within the university.
we did.
This includes serving as head of department, faculty dean.
Oh, you see,
sitting
you have
on
not done all of that.
vital
You when we say you are just one doctor somewhere.
committees like Senate or disciplinary
Uh-huh.
finance, as well as contributing to the wider committee on national development.
You see,
Now, the assessment process, the actual promotion to professor is not automatic just because someone has spent 3 years as a reader. It involves a grueling assessment phase. Internal appraisal. The candidate department and faculty review their portfolio. If they meet the baseline criteria, the application is forwarded to the university central appointment and promotion committee. Then this is the most. Then the external assessment, the blind review. They say this is the most critical stage. The university select 3 independent established professors in the candidate's specific field, usually 2 from other top university and 1 from the international university. The candidate publication and curriculum vitae are sent to the external assessors blindly. If at least 2 out of the 3 assessors return a positive evaluation stating that the candidate work meets standard or professional check, promotion is granted. So that's what's it called?
So you see that it's a university base. So you define as a professor at whatever. Because
so when I asked that, does the school you attain the professorship matter? It said legally no. Culturally and professionally, yes.
Yes.
It matters immensely. From a strict and legal regulatory standpoint, a professor is a professor. As long as the rank was conferred by university and accredited by national NUC. However, within the actual Nigerian academic system, the university where you attain your professorship carries a lot of unwritten.
So, you see, objectively,
there is a distinct hierarchy regarding prestige, rigorousness, and respect. Here's why. Oh my God.
You get.
Oh, that's why the man was telling me that somebody that is a professor in OU does not know what it means to be a professor in UI.
Exactly.
That's why the man was telling me.
Exactly. So a problem that a professor at College University or Kinikan or one university inside one village, one bush somewhere. It's not a professor in the eye of the in the eye of the law, you're a professor, but in the eye of the academic system, you dey whine. So now here's the problem. I have to now translate that to now say you want to take a professional job at a university. Is where you have problem. No university will come and take, unless maybe they have now finally discovered that you are worth it. Nobody will come and carry you to come and be a professor in their school, knowing that you are not a recognized professor like that. You get
just like a first class student. You're a first class student from one school that we don't know.
No.
And you're a first class student from a school that we all know.
No. There's that gap.
All of you are first class students too.
But it gas be the same thing. No be same thing. Now, John was touching something that I think is very crucial. He was talking about the fact that the reason if we follow the money, it will make all the sense. That is the reason why some of them want to find a way to get the professional thing label is for the pay. And there's the news about one lecturer from Convention University that was announced that he's taking how much?
You're taking less than 200k, 195k or there.
As a lecturer.
As a lecturer.
Is it lecturer too? Or?
Lecturer too.
Now the question everybody is outraged on the internet that maybe there's capitalism at play, exploitation here. Do you believe that is the case? John, do you follow the Mr.
Sorry, before we leave the area, before we leave that part of, I should add that if you become a professor, you get paid for life till you die.
I know.
So I just want to mention that that's part of the reason why people have.
Also follow the
wait. Even after you're done with teaching.
Yes. Unless you are dishonorably discharged or something like that. Unless on those grounds, you are more like qualified for.
Like your pension, what's meant to be your pension will be your full salary.
All throughout. Does that apply to only federal universities? Or
I think it's government owned.
Government university. The government university created by Hacked.
Yeah.
So, John, what do you think? Follow the money, Mr. Follow the money. What do you think? Is that justify the amount?
The amount. I think it's not. If you check the Nigerian settings, there are a lot of things that have seemed anomaly. For instance, if you compare the pay in Ghana to Nigeria institutions to how much the lecturers earn, you know that is way different. Like even
Ghanaians anymore.
Yeah, they are anymore, far more. Even
I imagine
this 199,000 or less than 200,000 that a lecturer is earning in Nigeria. A teacher is earning more than that in Ghana.
A teacher?
Like
but their currency is different from our own, so.
If you convert it, if you do the conversion of...
And that's what I'm saying, their currency have more weight than our own.
So, which means they earn more. But the thing is, school system is also different, which includes the fact that, how much students pay per head is different. There's a lot of subsidy going on in Nigerian institutions that allow them to be able to, cater for it. Now, in my own...
So are you saying that private universities in Ghana are paying more too? Because we are talking about private university in particular here. There's a private university in question here, Convention University, I think.
Okay.
I don't know about every other school infrastructure payroll, but I think it's going to be relative. Josh, what do you think?
That one.
The payroll for other institution. I think it's going
No,
to be
no, no. I
realistic.
think the outrage is just funny. The payment that they are paying was reviewed in 2023. That's Covenant, and they are paying the average standard with the government. It's just very recently that Nigerian government increased the payment of their staff salary by, is it 40% or so? That's the only discrepancy we might witness. So it's similarly to what even an average.
Now, what I'm asking here is that private universities are not public universities, right? So are private universities in Nigeria paying lesser or higher to Ghana that you are comparing?
The students.
Yeah, are students paying higher or lesser?
Oh,
Compared
No,
to Ghana?
it's more expensive in Ghana.
private universities.
Are they more
Even
expensive?
their public university is it has competing amount with
The private.
our,
Private university.
their public university
Yeah,
has
that's true.
competing amount with our private,
Private
university.
universities, yes,
That's
that's true.
Our normal school is not even close at all.
No, what we want to know is whether private universities in Ghana are also paying.
I say public university.
No.
in Ghana,
Like, I mean,
sef.
as in relative to their public universities. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Because
no,
their
no, no.
public universities are already on the high side.
Do you mean the salary?
Like, no, I mean the school fees.
It's different
Tuition.
now, obviously.
That
It's
if
different.
their public universities
Even-
already
even
competing with their
Nigeria-
private,
even-
that means their private universities are paying
It's
way
more
more.
expensive. That's what I'm
That
saying.
means it should
Even
be-
a
See,
Nigerian that
okay.
goes there, that is not a citizen, you know, like an international student will pay ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Even
you understand? So
even
we
somebody
don't
that is
know.
from DSF is paying.
So
ridiculous
perhaps
money,
for empirical reason, maybe we should.
yeah.
just check,
I just want to know.
how
for-
much a
So
private
the thing is,
sure.
for public universities in Ghana,
Mhm.
which they consider a bit cheaper, they pay for Ghanaian students. They pay from 2,000 cedis to 5,000 cedis.
Mhm.
Yeah, for Ghanaian students.
That's how much? Roughly how much?
About 500 or 700 plus.
check it in Naira. Check.
Check in Naira.
No, let somebody else do that so that we
Okay.
continue. Is
So continue argument so that we can
That's
know.
for Ghanaian students. For international students, let's say Nigerians going to Ghana, you will have to pay between 8,000 cedis to 22,000 cedis. That's for public institutions.
Very sure.
Now for private institution, you say for Ghanaian students from 4,500 to 10,000 cedis, slightly higher than normal. For international students, see the same as it is for public institution.
so
Okay.
2,000 cedis is 248,000 naira
School fees.
school fees.
Okay.
To you said to 5,000, which means like around 600,000. That means it's between 250 to 600,000
Naira that they are paying.
that they are
That's
paying
what Nigerian
in
school fees are
the-
paying too now.
in the
Even in
Public
even
institutions.
LATEC they're paying as high as that.
they are paying as
Like states, huh?
then
Yeah.
even federal we are paying as much recently.
That's what I'm saying. Huh?
Since the subsidy has been removed.
Sure.
But I remember when the subsidy was not yet removed, this was worse. But when the subsidy has been removed, we are paying. This year, my school fees is 155,000, and there are people in other departments that are paying as much as 300,000 plus.
Mm-hmm.
So because law happens to be one of the lowest, so in some other faculties are paying 300k plus. So which is still in the range of.
So now, what?
But
where is
I want
justification come from?
I want you to repeat how much the private universities are paying. Sorry.
Private universities for Ghanaians, right? For Ghanaian students, is between the range of
I think 5,000. Is it 5,000?
4,500
4, 5.
to 10,000 cedis.
4-5 CDs to Naira is like you said around 559,000 like
Around
so
600k.
which 600k then if you're talking about 10,000 that's 1 point something million, right?
It's that
So
same,
it's
same,
still the
same for
same-
school fees here in Nigeria.
It's
oh.
not that far.
It's not about many students. I know how much I'm paying in my school. So what are we saying? So Nigerian schools are earning. At least Nigerian private schools are earning as much as.
the Ghanaian private
schools.
That
So
was
that's
I
what
wanted
are
to
we saying?
clarify too.
So I don't think there's any justification why.
People should still be paid less, have you?
Why Nigerian private lecturers should be earning lesser. If Ghanaians can be earning that much, what is happening? Where's the justification coming from? Because I know that it's not a common problem.
Yeah.
I know that the pay rate is almost same across universities because I know some of the lecturers how they are shuffling multiple universities together
Yeah.
as they are working at Christopher, they are working at KDU, as they are working at whatever, they are working at multiple universities, how they are trying to shuffle everything together. So if that is the case, what do you think is happening, Dan Smith? Do you think it's justified?
In comparing to what's happening in other countries like Ghana,
Like Ghana.
I don't think it's not. Horrible for lecturers to be in.
Or is it that they have
No,
more
the cost
students or-
per. So sorry, I just confirmed now. I heard with the math I was giving that they pay higher in private versus Nigerian private university. I was wrong with that. But then I think we should also
They
look
pay
at,
higher. Who pay higher?
I said I was wrong that to
Private
say that
students in
private students in
Ghana
Ghana,
pay higher.
they pay higher than that
Nigeria.
of Nigeria. So your conclusion was correct. Now, what I'm saying is that the difference between how much people earn in Nigeria versus how much people earn in Ghana. You know, some other factors some people will argue that some other factor might be responsible.
Although we have to also consider law of demand and supply. Yeah. Because maybe in
okay.
Ghana, maybe there is lesser supply of staffs. I don't know. Based on policies and everything that allow that lesser. You know, you can create fictional what's called you can increase demand by this policy.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, for instance, now there's this quota of, I don't know, we can fast check that. There's this quota of lecturers that you should hire that are organic that must be from Ghana. By default, even if Nigerians worker wants to work there or other countries wants to work there, you have increased the potential demand for indigenous lecturer.
Yeah.
So that by default, you have to pay them as
yeah.
much as the demand. But yeah, almost everybody has a doctor and a PhD, and almost everybody is, searching for lecturing job and whatever. And I think if it is not because there are so much
we have
available.
way more qualified lecturers than those that are teaching.
Mhm.
That's
So I think the reason why they could be able to shortchange them like that and pay them that low is because the demand is there, the supply is there, the lecturers are there, the people that want to lecture are there. In fact, the fact that the supply is even there in the sense that they can lecture somewhere and still be lecturing somewhere else. So which means the one person that is available for job here is still available for job there, which means they are doubly available. I don't know whether you get the idea. They are doubly available. They are available for job at the University of Ibadan, still available for job at College University, or still available for job in Backup, or still available. So, which means even the ones that have not got any job entirely are still available. So, look at how the availability of staff. So, maybe that is also some of the things that are affecting the reality of the market. But the question is that
No, some of the reasons here is that power is one of the things that drain that private schools in Nigeria would claim that drain their revenue, and they really don't have to worry about that in
Ghana.
because there's stable light. But then they will pay for that light as well.
So
but then maybe
Although the cost of buying fuel will not be as much as using a.
you don't say so with this band-aid thing.
No.
With this band-aid thing, that argument is
the
not-
thing is that there's one guy in my class, Senator Pouring Money. He likes all this beer parlor analysis. I don't like it. When we just look at, I know that if we sit down and look at the numbers, we will know the numbers. There's an amount you spend on fuel or electricity or whatever. Give yours how many percent? If it is 10%, 20% of your budget, let us know. Does that justify the fact that you don't have a sufficient budget for lecturers? What teaching? What is happening? Why are we paying them so low? That's what I want to know. We can come up with 1,000 excuses. We want to come up with
No.
excuses.
But then, what about cost of living?
Cost of living.
General
what's it?
cost of living.
Like,
in
is there higher
Ghana?
cost of living in Ghana?
Let's confirm that percentage versus Nigeria, because almost every goods is more expensive in
In Ghana.
than Nigeria. So the lecturer that
Which we regulate everything that way. Which we means that this is same. It will end up looking like the same thing. Because if you look at US too or UK, you always look at they are paying people money.
Yeah, exactly.
Until you see how much they are buying banana. Or see how much they are buying ordinary sweets or something. You see how much they are paying for it. We can also look at that as a.
So it might be
they might still be living in the same weight bracket like that way. At the end of the day,
Right.
if you look at it with those indexes, like if you look at how much they are paying compared to how much it costs to actually live,
for
it's
instance,
almost like
cost
the same
of how much they rent a facility versus an average area in Nigeria is different. Although if you look at say Ikoyi, it's a different ballgame. But if you look at mid-tier areas, their house is kind of higher. than
So
Nigeria.
what we are so are we to say? So let's look at the numbers.
Let's use Coca-Cola for as an example.
Mm-hmm.
The average cost of Coca-Cola in Nigeria is in the range of 450 naira to 500 naira per
Okay.
50 cl. While in Ghana, that same Coca-Cola costs 8 cedis, which is about 2.5.
Okay. Now we are getting the idea.
Oh, yeah, it's beginning to.
So, which means cost of living, you know, if you are doing how many X like that? 500 now 25. That's 5x.
5.
So anything that earnings like divided by 5 technically, or divided by 4 if you don't want to use, everybody's not drinking Coca-Cola.
Okay.
But if you don't want to use Coca-Cola, divided by 4, divided by 3, that's what we'll be looking at.
I think let's take rice. Rice is a good
Index.
It's a good index.
Rice and fuel.
Rice and fuel.
Let's
yes.
check rice and fuel. So that way we can say that it's almost like African justified kind of thing. And even if we want to compare with other countries, I've told you, I just mentioned it.
Yeah,
The cost of living there are
Cost of
crazy.
living is a
It's
major
crazy. So,
factor.
so should we just say that in the academic system, that's the thing?
Well, I think one of the things that I've noticed in recent time is that the current pay of civil servant generally, I won't want to go to generally civil servant, but what I know about is the educational system and then the people in academics is that in recent year they have been moving from the set of people that we call average set of people to poor kind of class.
Yeah,
moved
and we
from
agree with
You were
you.
middle class.
There's
middle
a
class.
time where if you're a teacher, you're a lecturer, you're whatever, people from my kind of will look up to you. You are like middle class people. You are better off. You are whatever.
People like them.
You fare better. You understand? You are mommy clinical, mommy lawyer, mommy doctor, mommy teacher. They are the mommy. They have that mommy vibe. You know what I mean by mommy
Yes,
vibe?
exactly.
They are mommy, not by age, mommy by money. They kind of, you know, they can. You go to the house, you meet food in the fridge. They are stock and co.
They are the only ones that you know that the husband will have car, the wife too can have a smaller car.
Car. But think about it. One bag of rice, how much now?
65,000.
Which means if you are earning 200,000 naira, you cannot get 4 bags. You cannot acquire 4 bags of rice.
And 200,000 naira is not the bare minimum. Like there are civil servants, there are teachers that are still earn like
Lesser than that.
80,000.
50,000.
Yeah, I was talking to my dad. He's retired now though. I was talking to him last week and I was telling him about this stuff that how are young men applying for this kind of job now. So he told me the thing is people that apply for, especially men, that apply to be a teacher are just applying it for it so that they have something that is going for them as a side. So teaching for them is more like something that give them a consistent revenue that they know they will have at the end of the month. They already have other things that they are doing. So teaching is just that, okay, they know that, okay, this thing will accumulate and by the end of their career, they will be able to bank on a pension and a gratuity that will be coming for them. So it's more like something we are
Something
doing.
on the side.
Which
So it's not a main
it's
hustle
not
anymore.
it can never, it's not possible for you because my question is, how are they sustaining a family on such amounts? If you are coming out as a graduate and then you are applying for, especially in Kwara State now, to be a teacher, you cannot earn more than 100K as a graduate. So how are you expected to be able to feed a family? It doesn't logically make sense. So that was my question to him and he was like, okay, it's just one of the things that they do.
I think I have a conspiracy theory.
What's your conspiracy?
And my conspiracy theory might really not be, maybe kind on the teacher apologies. Because I noticed the entire educational sector, the way it is set up, it looks like almost like they are just forgotten. Nobody increases their salary and all of that from secondary school to university. That's how it looked like on paper. But if you look at it, the culture that was there, because there was this strike, there's always strike, there's this, they even pray for strike and they won't work. They will have other jobs that they are doing.
Yeah.
And then they will
Businesses
focus
that-
on that most of the time. And then they don't even pray with the school resumes. And they will focus on that their side business.
Because the
and
salary
the
is
school
running,
is just
don't
a
worry.
side stuff. So that has been the culture. Now the funny, so really for them to, and they're always arguing about past. I'm coming. They're usually arguing about past salaries. That they've not paid them to even think about what they are currently earning or what they will even earn in the future. I'm coming. Let me land, please. Now that's why I noticed there's been this circle
Yeah, the
around
culture.
that. So for it to even really be a conversation that wait, these people are not even earning the real time amount. Now that things are changing, that there's no strike again, they are expected to be in school 247. They're expected, they won't really have time for all those side hustles and side gigs that they always doing. When I was in Debojo, when I went to one public school, Debojo, we have one very useless teacher like that. He has a cafe. He will spend 80% of his time in the cafe, while 20% of the time that he's supposed to teach us, he won't even, have time to teach us. And God will help him. There will be strike, and then it will affect. So it's really not a big concern like that for them. It's always about past arrears. But now that they are clearing their arrears, now that they are doing stuff, there's really no more strike like that. It's becoming more of a real concern now. That okay, and then they are of the fact that
because now it's taking their time. It's more clear now. It's more an actual job. It's not an actual job, so they are now demanding for what they are worth.
So it's clearer for even outsiders.
That time they can shuffle more. That time they can shuffle multiple institutions. You can see now that there's lecturers that are kind of adjunct with KDU. They are failing roughly. They cannot show up in class.
They cannot because the actual school is on session.
Yes, they cannot show.
So I think that's a.
I'm sure that it was before they can shuffle it because it was easier. The strike will have happened. They will use those time to cover up for their other job.
Now, to finish my argument, the federal government, for instance, has now given more autonomy to the school. That these people are professors. The VC is a prof. You understand the system. Now you can, in a way, determine the pay of your people too. And these are the same set of people kicking against even that system. So I think they are in a really complicated they really sometimes with I feel like do they really know what they want like that too.
So I think this thing has some layers to it. For instance, you made mention of strikes.
Yeah, their reality have changed. Yeah, they are no longer strikes.
For instance, I don't think I went to public secondary schools. I never had a time that there was strike as a secondary school student. I only knew that university students strikes or polytechnics, all those tertiary schools, they strike. We don't strike as a secondary school student.
I attended.
In your state
during Akala's regime, and we strike multiple times.
And now, and in that case, can you, because now, during Alawakala time
period,
they strike.
That was now.
Welcome to
growing up, I only knew that tertiary institution strikes. So that's my own. That's the only thing that I know about schools.
Do you know that? I was trying. There's one girl that is Onyi in KDU. I was trying to make this joke with her that does she know Onyi of Osun State? Do you know that during the time of Onyi Lola, they used to distribute books for the entire. They give you at least 4-5 exercise books. Almost every day they are giving them tea. Sachet tea. Onyi, there's a Onyi adult tea. There's why won't you go to school? No, I won't. But there are some rubbish states in Nigeria in the past. Like Oyo is one of them.
Wow, I never knew it was this
strike one. Is normal in secondary. So all this one that you people are learning about strike in university. No, the only strike is normal.
The only cases that we had that we did not go to school was this. When was it? This. What happened?
Did it fight or something?
During Jonathan Hera subsidy.
First subsidy.
That was general.
That's general. We didn't go to school.
No. That's why if you notice your state's mentality, for someone like me now, I did not go to a government secondary school until I left Oyo State. That when I wanted to start going to, but I still wasn't able to go. But the reason is that there's an Oyo State mentality that it has to be abject poverty that will make your child go to public school. I noticed that sentiment does not exist across Lagos.
Yes,
no, it does not.
Lagos does not. In different places.
In Osun State, it's not.
What you are saying is shocking.
See, for you to know that it's still happening right now. FCTA, what's it called? In Abuja, there are some. Is it primary or secondary school that the teachers were, protesting which day that they have been on strike?
Primary school. Where?
Is it secondary or primary school? In FCT.
FCT.
Some people are now saying Wike now saying no. This has nothing to do with him. It is some certain council. but then they've been able to sort
That's
them out.
local government level. That's
People go
that's
on
the
strike,
primary
oh.
school.
People
That's
go on
primary
strike.
It's a
school.
primary school, other local council development area.
Wow, that's
it's not a
crazy.
secondary school.
That's
So
crazy.
it's not a strange thing. So that's why I'm talking from the certain perspective.
So I think this is why we have different perspective to it.
Mm.
Because me, for instance, I went to of a grammar school,
Mm.
and definitely there are times that teachers will not come. Usually, it's not like they are not in school. Maybe they are in the staff room. Then we used to enjoy those free time at times. But I do not see it to the level of one person is not in school because he's doing. There are few times. But even the lecturer, the principal will come to class. I'm like, why is there no teacher in your class? Go and check on the person. That is what I know. So
primary and secondary school.
primary and
Now, if you make that
secondary
case
school. I did not go to primary
for,
school.
For primary and secondary school. What about what's this called? University. That
University.
is an object. I believe that one is an objective
Objectively.
example. For what? So now make case for them.
I'm not making cases. So
Okay.
that's why I'm saying there are layers to this thing.
Just wanted to make the
Okay,
clarification.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, I think we have had a wonderful comeback at this point. We have, enter all the corners of education that we can think of. What do you think we miss out? What do you think we did not talk about? Are you feeling the energy that we brought back to Rational Dialogue? And of course, we are going to be dropping this every week, so stay tuned. And for this time, and at least till the election comes, I can guarantee you, you will be with us on Rational Dialogue every week. I can guarantee you that, because this election, we will know all the people that stand for LB. We will have to discuss all policies. We are talking about education, and I believe that there are some politicians that are watching this somewhere, and they'll be like, oh, these are some of the policies we need to put in place. They're already picking ideas about, oh, what is wrong about this, what's wrong about that. And these are the reasons why we have all these dialogue. So share it to your friends, share it to your family, so that they can know all this stuff. And then if you have topic suggestions, drop them in the comment section. If you have any opinion, drop them. Let us know, so that in any other episode that we're making about education and the education sector and things that need to be discussed rationally, we include your ideas, your suggestion on it. Till then, we'll see you in the next episode. My name is Elon Jobs, and to my right is
Bill Tracy.
Josh Tracy.
John Hughes.
The famous Dan Smith.
the famous Dan Smith. See you next time.